Yo, yo, what's good, y'all? Excuse me. What's good, y'all? Wrestling Boys in the building once again for episode 8 of This Week in Wrestling. We call this the countdown to the OG Bloodline episode. So, right now, how you doing today, sir? You doing today?
How about you?
Doing all right, pretty good. Good, brother. I'm doing pretty good. This ain't gonna be a long episode because I wanted to start putting these on to like Spotify and iHeart and Apple Podcasts, wherever you can find all your podcasts. But that's why this ain't gonna be a long episode. We're gonna start off by recapping Monday Night Raw. One thing that I'm getting tired of, and I hope they change it tomorrow, is the fact that Liv Morgan keeps running from Rhea Ripley. It's not a good look whatsoever. Am I lying? Or what?
Nah, the champion should look a little stronger, honestly. I think that she looks very weak as a champion.
Like she is, yeah, it is like it's building. Like we need to see a beatdown of the Judgment Day. So, like, not the Judgment Day, the Terror Twins tomorrow, and we need to actually bring some credibility back to the Judgment Day because right now the Judgment Day ain't really looking too credible. Where Liv is just running every 5 minutes from the action. And yeah, that's why I think that they should get beat. They should do a little beat down tomorrow. Have a little fun with it tomorrow. Beat down the Terror Twins, and you can bring some credibility back to the Judgment Day. Because Rhea and Damian probably are arguably the two biggest faces in the company right now. So yeah, so we gotta build some sympathy up on them. Liv Morgan is not my favorite as a champ right now. It has Liv Morgan been your favorite as a champ, Brand?
Nah, I mean, it's needed for the storyline right now, but after that, yeah, please take the belt off her.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Just a short set. Yeah, that was just all that was with the bloodline and the terror. Not the bloodline, the Judgment Day and the territories. We're gonna talk about the bloodline. Next up, man, on Monday Night Raw, we had Bronson Reed we had Bronson Reed kill our truth. I mean, not kill our truth, but we could say demolish our truth. So Bronson Reed has been building up his self as an impressive monster type of a heel. What's your thoughts on Bronson Reed, Brandon?
Yeah, it's interesting to see. I feel like he's kind of been floating around for a while, and I'm not really sure where the push takes him. Again, as we've talked about this many times before, the top of the card is very stacked, but maybe if he wants to rule the middle of the card, that wouldn't be bad to have a credible person in the middle of the card right now.
To be a middle card savant, yeah, that'd be pretty like spectacular.
Because I don't really.
But
There's way too many people that got pulled up to the top of the card right now. There's no room for him there, really. Still.
next up, nah, yeah. So I agree. I agree. Next up, we got Gunther's hella. He's hella boring. No offense, I feel like he's a hell of a wrestler, but hella boring. And a segment with Randy Orton where he disrespects Randy Orton's grandfather, disrespects his father. Drew McIntyre comes out, gets the distraction of Gunther. Then out of nowhere, RKO to Gunther. What you think about? I gotta ask you. I gotta ask you a question, and I want your personal opinion on this. Do you think our loss really helps Randy Orton at this point?
No. I mean, dude, Gunther's not going to lose, but, like, there's a huge part of me that hopes he does. Not that he's not a good champion, that he's not a good heel or anything like that. It's nothing to do with that. Just something to see somebody like Randy at this age still be able to, like, be relevant and still even put on good matches, bro. Like, I'm all on the Randy train, bro.
Yeah, I agree, but like I feel like Randy losing at Bash in Berlin doesn't help him because like now you're going to have a claim. You're going to have like Gunther, unless you have plans on giving Gunther this magical 2 year long run where he doesn't lose. When he does, he's beating Randy Orton clean. Then you got CM Punk, and then you got CM Punk and Drew McIntyre going to finish the year out. And then next year, you got start Seth and CM Punk's program. Like, I, Gunther is Gunther is just boring to me. Like it's so many better options you could pick on the belt on. He's a hell of a wrestler, hell of a wrestler. I don't want nobody to say, "Oh my goodness, he's not." He's saying he's boring because he's boring in the ring. No, his character is boring. Like it's not something you can get behind. Like it's not something you can get behind. His character is just extremely boring. When you think of character, you think about LA Knight. They got a little bit. They got character, can wrestle a little bit. That has the complete package. You think about guys like Roman Reigns. You think about guys like AJ Styles. You think about guys like Randy Orton. And then just tribal chief Roman Reigns. You think about I got to name a bunch of guys: Cena, Taker, Taker. Like, and if you was comparing those guys, and you putting Gunther on that list, can you definitively say Gunther is better than any of those guys?
I'm a big Gunther fan, so you're asking the wrong person.
Like I'm throwing the question out there in general. You might say they better than Gunther fans might not even like this take. I respect Gunther fans. They might not like this take, but it is what it is.
I'll say that he's not your taste, but I find him to be, as the Macho Man would say, cream of the crop.
So like I respect the fans when it comes down to Gunther. I respect the fans. He's just to me he's just generically boring.
No,
And then you
like every point in the history of wrestling. Not every point, but most points in the history of wrestling, they always have the foreign heel guy, and that's the role that he's playing.
Gunta the ring and around like Gunta like the whole yeah, I get it, the whole militant minded heel and yeah, yeah, I get it. I get it, but he ain't my cup of tea.
Bro, how does one go from being, dude, this is like, how like all the wrestlers have fake names, dude? His real name is like, dude, like his like Gunther is kind of like an intimidating name. His real name is Walter.
He started off. He started off when he came to the WWE as Walter, and that character was terrible. And then I do give him credit though. He reinvented himself and lost that weight. Probably got beefed up. So he got beefed up, and then he went and just reinvented himself into Gunther. Gunther, the longest reigning UK champion, the longest reigning Intercontinental champion, and now he's the world heavyweight champion. So it's like he kind of reinvented himself. So I will give him credit for that. Like he didn't get down on himself because like back in the early NXT days, me and him had the same type of body mass. But he came and reinvented himself and did a little bit better. So shout out to him for that. And then I ain't cover every moment on Raw, but I'm just paraphrasing because we cutting this episode to like 30 minutes tops. And then you have Braun Breaker, Braun Breaker and Sami Zayn. Low key was a banger of a match. Sami Zayn with the first pinfall, then Braun Breaker with the second pinfall, and then Braun Breaker came out, won it again. They had a moment. Braun Breaker looks at Sami, Sami looks at them. What you think about Braun Breaker and Sami Zayn rivalry finally being over? Like, what you think about that rivalry?
It was a good program. An odd pairing. I mean, not an odd pairing. It makes sense to really. I should have said odd pairing. That's not what I meant to say. It was actually a smart pairing, really thinking about it.
That's what's your
such a veteran with a guy that's really young in the industry. They put on some really good matches. Sammy, he's always played this underdog, and obviously physically, if you look at the two, he really, they played him up in that role, and it was cool to see.
Sami Zayn. I think we're heading towards Sami Zayn and Jey Uso versus the Judgment Day had Bash Berlin for the title. Like I think he heading towards that path.
I hope
So,
they don't throw Sammy into the tag team division, bro. He's too good of a singles competitor.
so- but I think it's necessary because we want to talk about that. We going to talk about that with the OG Bloodline situation. We want to talk about that a little bit. I think it's necessary right now because like have him have him start a program with the Judgment Day. Now I think what you got to understand is too they're building stories and layers. Like there's different layers to the story. Now I don't want to get too ahead of what we're going to talk about, but you see with the bloodline now, you got Jay and Sammy reuniting with each other. Then it's going to be like a seed being planted. Sammy's ain't going to be like, oh, I don't know, Oos. I don't know about all that. I don't know about going back together with all that. And then Jay going like talk to convincing, and then we going to see the bloodline. We going to see Jimmy. Then we going to see the pieces coming together. It's necessary now that he does. I don't think they're going to win the tag team titles. They're going to go on a nice little bash of Berlin, going to go on a nice little run. And then I think the OG bloodline situation is going to come together. I think that situation is really going to come together. So I could see Sammy playing the tag team role for right now. But I agree with you. Sammy needs to be a world champ one day before it's all said and done. Because Sammy's excellent in the ring. Excellent in the ring. He's funny. He's funny, and he's just charismatic. I think he'll be all right. I honestly think he'll be all right in the ring. He'll be good. But I agree with you though. Definitely agree with you. Fast forward, we ain't gonna do NXT. Fast forward to Friday night SmackDown. I think this was one of the better Friday night SmackDowns because I think the rest it was more wrestling than anything with some story. What you think about first we're gonna talk about Carmelo Hayes and Andrade. What you think about that match?
Dude, what a match. That was probably the best match of the night. Like if we're talking about actual wrestling, no storylines involved, no anything, that was the best match of the night.
It got a take Carmelo Hayes and Andrade got a very good program going on, which is wrestling and plus the fact that Andrade not saying too much is the fact that Andrade's just going out there just cooking. He's not doing the most. And Carmelo Hayes is arrogant. Like they fit each other perfectly. Playing the arrogant hill. They playing it's a banger. Yeah, it's a banger. It's really a banger, man. But I wouldn't say the best match of the night, but no, but because this match hooked up. The Street Profits versus DIY.
It was also a good match.
Street, yeah.
I didn't realize that Angelo was as athletic as he is. Like he had some nice moves in that match, and Montez is impressive. I wonder if they have a solo run for him in his future. DIY is not my cup of tea. They're not bad. I don't know, but I like the Street Profits what they brought to the match.
See, that's where we at. That's where we differ at too. Because I think DIY. I love DIY. I love DIY. But it was Street Profits needed to win. DIY just had the tag team titles. But next week you got Jacob Fatu. I don't. I want to be understanding. I want to be understanding because on paper it says like damn, the Street Profits versus Jacob Fatu and Tunga Loa. Tama I mean, not Tunga Loa, that dude, not the box dude, but Tama Tonga.
Hi, Patch McGee.
Yeah, but Tama and Jacob Fatu versus the Street Profits. I want to be understanding, but my heart tells me that, it tells me that Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga win. My heart tells me, but in order to advance the story a little bit, they need to like cost them the championships. Have Tama Tonga take the pinfall, like have Roman Reigns be like then like play the music, like fake the music, or have Paul Heyman come out and with a laugh and cost them the tag team titles because you cannot squander the Street Profits any further. The Street Profits, you had the Street Profits with Bobby Lashley and them. Bobby Lashley got cut. Got contract not cut. Excuse me. I apologize. His contract expired and they chose not to renew it. You can't waste the Street Profits any further. So like, give me a scenario, Brandon, that can work on both ends. So the Street Profits to win, and it kind of could protect Jacob Fatu.
Roman's definitely got to interfere, or somebody from. Well, he doesn't even have a team put together yet, so it's got to be Roman. So,
It's a type of a distraction, and then but the thing is, Brandon, September Roman
can't get pinned.
Yeah, they got Roman out till September 13th.
I saw that.
They got Roman out till September 13th, and we're gonna talk about maybe why he's out till September 13th. But it got like I can't. You think there's a danger of them wasting the Street Profits in this match?
Yeah, the Street Profits are gonna get trashed. I don't think they're gonna win. And also, I don't know, man. Well, now we'll let you. You said you were gonna talk about that later. I'll let you. I don't want to get ahead of this. But yeah, I don't. I would say there's a 90% chance the Street Profits lose.
And I feel like that don't.
No, I'm gonna say it's 100 because if Roman's out till September 13th, which I did read, there ain't nobody else that's gonna be interfering. He's literally a solo act right now, so there's a 100% chance you're gonna lose.
And then after that match that you have, with them with DIY, I feel like it's an utter waste.
Yeah, it's a weird pairing. I don't know. They just throw. I feel like the one thing that I don't like about this era is they throw a lot of tag teams to win. Like they just book them to lose and lose and lose. Or if they have momentum, and then they lose their momentum immediately.
The Street Profits are going to lose their momentum next week. The Street Profits are definitely going to lose their momentum next week, and the Street Profits should be the tag team. The Street Profits are long due for a rub. They are long due for a rub. Jacob Fatu got plenty of time. To just like. I don't like this in a sense. Now let me break this down. Then we're gonna go into what we're gonna talk about with the OG Bloodline. I don't like this because talented as Jacob Fatu is, they're not slowing him, like breaking him along like how they doing Jay Cargill. Jay Cargill's a little bit green. I love Jay Cargill. She's a little bit greener than Jacob Fatu, yes. But Jacob Fatu is like the tag team champion already, which is cool. But I don't like it being at the expense of certain things, like certain teams, like the Street Profits being here, Montez Ford.
Throw teams to like basically be jobbers. They should just throw like R-Truth and Miz, like because they've already, you know what I mean. They don't really have momentum right now. I feel like they're gonna wreck momentum with somebody who's actually like doing things.
I feel and I feel like the Street Profits really deserve this. Like they deserve to take team titles. The Street Profits deserve it. That like they want like Montez Ford, Angelo Dawkins. They deserve it. They've been long overdue, and they always get in the short end of the stick. So like I hope I see something different, but my heart tells me that Jacob Fatu with a walking boot on is gonna like destroy them. But last but not least, my faves. Then we're gonna talk about the OG Bloodline for like 10 minutes. We got Naomi. We got Naomi losing clean Blair Davenport. I don't understand that. We're just gonna make a long story short with that. And we had a backstage segment with Jay. Never mind. Can't that yet. Jay and Bianca had a backstage segment with them, and it feels like they got a 6-man tag match coming. They got a 6-man tag match coming along at the Bash of Berlin. nice little program, but we see something bigger for those ladies, Jade and Bianca and Naomi. You agree? Yes or no?
1 second. Hold that. I gotta run downstairs really fast. I apologize. Just hold that question and just carry on.
Okay.
If you can, I'll be right back.
So I feel like I feel like it's I guess Alba Fire, Isla Dawn, and what's her name in Blair Davenport. I feel like that's a pretty good filler program, but I feel like that those ladies got something bigger in the chamber, and I feel like that once that program gets situated, you're gonna see something bigger out them ladies. I feel like that personally. So it could be a pretty good match. It could be a surprisingly good match. I wouldn't just like write the match off. Like that. It could be a surprisingly good match. So I hope I hope it's a good match. We just gonna have to wait, play the waiting game and see. And it comes down to them. And then the last segment of the night was Roman Solo Roman. They going at it. Got into a little rumble. Got into a little altercation. Roman finally gets the Eufaula. He holds it up. Somebody pointed this out to me too. Roman holds the Eufaula up as a tribute to Alpha Anoa'i that just passed away, his uncle. It's a rest in peace to Alpha and whatnot. And then out of nowhere, Jacob Fatu kicks his head into the next planet, into the next Walmart. And then, welcome back, sir. Then, no, you good. Then Jacob Fatu knocks him into another dimension, and then they pit him through a table. I like the segment through and through because now we start the countdown to the OG bloodline. We start to come down to the OG bloodline, and now we got a moment. We got a month to process that. Now we got the next episode. Next time we see Roman, we assume Roman is going to have some backup.
I think, speaking on that, it's smart to let Sammy build chemistry with Jay and the time that Roman's off to build him up as credible. So it makes the story better. Like they're gonna go on a win streak like immediately.
Yeah, they gotta go on the win streak immediately after that, and it's like now that we seen the beat there. Now, like Roman just it made the Timu bloodline a little bit more credible. It gave Roman the sympathy he needed as a face, and now we can start looking at the countdown. We can start going to the countdown into the OG bloodline, and just say, are we going to see the bloodline OG bloodline September 13th, September 20th? Like, but the danger a little bit with Triple H, a little bit like Triple H likes long term storytelling. He said this. He said this. He likes to get to the North Star of wrestling. He likes to get there. Like he likes to like get there to the. He likes to cut the layers into stories in different sections. But the danger of that type of storytelling is there's some stories can drag out a little bit longer, and with this, he's not dragging it out at all. It's like now you got Roman, and the thing about it is Roman being part time kind of helps the story too, because now you can think about the possibilities of what's going to come with this storyline, and now it gives Cody Rhodes an opportunity to carry the belt into next year, because only one in three people can take the belt off Cody right now, and we'll believe it. Randy Orton, John Cena, or Roman Reigns. Anybody else trying to take the belt off Kobe right now, that's not going to be believable. So it drags that story out a little bit longer. It helps Cody too, and it makes sense in that aspect. Tell me what you think about now, like the Roman not being out for this month. What you think it does to the story?
It's good. they need to let other people shine in the story because as soon as he came back, he immediately took all the shine away from everybody else. Um, the one thing I will say too, bro, yo, Solo is so Timu, bro. Jacob
See,
Fatu
see.
outshines him every single week, and it looks bad that he's the one in charge, bro. I know that
Uh,
Jacob Fatu might not be the best on the mic, but Solo ain't any better, bro. He's so cheesy. Like
yeah,
that, yo, bro,
Jake.
Jacob Fatu like an unstoppable force. He destroyed Roman with a walking boot on.
Get a walking poodle. That was insane.
bro,
Well,
bro, they booked him like an unstoppable force, and Solo's just behind him barking orders like a Timu guy.
yeah, like super insane. Like that was insane. Like you just get like the way you're moving in a walking boot. It kind of made it a little bit it kind of made it a little unrealistic. So I would say that too because it's like, yo, all right, this man is acting like Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl, yo,
Bro, how
with a
many times
bad.
he got in a walking boot that he was that comfortable to move like that with that thing on? Holy crap!
I had a walk-in boot on before. That's painful. If I'm lying, didn't he do a moonsault to Roman Reigns too?
I believe so. Yeah, if I remember correctly.
Like, dude, you got a walk-in boot on. Like, come on, like, relax, buddy. Like, but like, relax. That's why I was like, Jacob Fatu got an aura around it. That's why people when they say that Jacob Fatu is turning on Solo, if the day Jacob Fatu turns on Solo, the team of Bloodline is finished and done with.
Finito.
Finito and done with. We gonna play a little game over under October. We see the OG blood. October 1st, we see the OG Bloodline return.
Sounds about the right time. I'll say, if anything, over because Triple H slow cooks things, but I think that's about the right time.
I say I say over. I say about the same time. October 1st, we see the OG Bloodline. Over under. We see a appearance by Paul Heyman in September.
Under. I think you might see him sooner. Well, September. How could I under that?
You got
The
you
whole month
got
of September, you're going to see Paul Heyman at some point. Yeah.
you got two more shows left in September. In October, I mean, you got two more shows left in October.
Mm,
So
in August.
August, yeah, damn. What am I talking about? October. In August, yeah. So all right, last over under. Over under. You see Sammy and Jay back, but by the end of September.
Oh, for sure. Under. I think they're back in. Like soon, bro. Like in the next week or two.
All right, y'all. Yeah, yeah. Told y'all this wasn't gonna be a long episode. I wanted to keep this a short so we can start putting these on Spotify. So we can start putting these on Spotify and all the other podcasting stations that's available. But follow us, y'all. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Follow us on all the platforms, y'all. And before we go, man, we would be remiss to say that, man, it's been a sad couple of months in wrestling. Rest in peace to Alpha and Hawaii, man. The one of the pillars of the Wild Simone was one of the pillars of the Hawaii family, and it has passed away, man. And then if you figure earlier, in a couple months ago, Roman's father, Sika in Hawaii, passed away. So now Roman has lost his uncle and his father in the span of 2 months. Pray for the Fatu family as well as the Hawaii family. They all lost a pillar of their family. Pray for Jacob, Jay, Jimmy, Vance, Lance, Silla, all them guys, man. With the Rock, pray for the Rock, pray for Naya, pray for all of them, man. And pray because that's a tough loss right back. And go 2 for 2 like that. That's a tough loss, man. Bring any final thoughts of what I just said about that?
Yeah, man. Even like locally, due to the fact that they had a wrestling school in Allentown, it was kind of cool to see the outpouring of support on social media. It's actually been quite a presence out here because I'm local to that area. So it's pretty cool to see a lot of people, more people than I thought, knew more or more interested in or intertwined with him in their own lives. So it was cool to see that, and also rest in peace.
Rest in peace to Alpha and Seeker, man. The Wild Samoans are one of the one of the greatest tag teams to ever do it, man. So rest in peace to them. Now they having a hell of a tag team match against
Oh, who are they going
the.
against? Who are they
They're
going
going
against?
against the World Warriors up there.
Road Warriors. Okay.
They're going against the World Animal Hog. Then they got a now Heaven has a beautiful wrestling division. It's rest in peace to them, man. God bless them. God bless the Fatu family and the Hawaii family. God bless them, man. Prayers for them and prayers for Roman and the entire family, man. Until the next one, this episode is dedicated to the memory of the Wild Samoans and the Hawaii family and the Fatu family. This is dedicated to y'all, man. Keep on, man, blessing us. Yeah, they're in heaven watching y'all right now, man, and they're gonna be looking over y'all, man. Keep on blessing y'all. We've been fortunate enough to be blessed with some of the talented members of your family, and they was the pillars and the catalyst for that, man. Shout out to High Chief Peter Maivia. Shout out to all them. And you don't understand that goes all the way from the top. And shout out to the Rocks mom as well too. Like they're like legends. I don't care what it is. They're legends. Like they're like without them, I don't think you don't see Roman in that. You don't see The Rock. You don't see Jacob. You don't see all of them. You don't even see Zilla. You don't yeah. And without them, shout out and rest in peace to Amanga and Rousey as well. So shout out to 3 Minute. These youngsters don't know about 3 Minute Warning. Before Rosie was Rosie, before Umaga was Umaga, they was over there beating people up. It's 3 Minute Warning. Eric Bischoff used to have 3 Minute Warning, walking around running circles around people. Shout out to Umaga when Umaga was in 3 Minute Warning. Shout out to Rosie when he was in 3 Minute Warning. That family is legendary. That family is like I shot no disrespect to the Rose family, no disrespect to the Flares, no disrespect to nobody's family, but that family is like the legendary family in wrestling. And I think the Rhodes, I think it's the Hawaii family, the Rhodes family. Cody was right when he said it is more than one royal family in wrestling. But that fan, the Ortons, I mean, yeah, it's like it's a bunch of you got the Ortons, you got the you said what?
Rotundas.
The Rotundas, you got the Rotundas, you got the Ortons, you got all of them. You got the Rhodes family, you got yes, you got McMahon, you got all of them. But you got the McMahon's family, all of them. But when it comes down to it, the in Hawaii's the Fatu family and the Mayavias, they cut up into like three different sections. Cut up into like three little different sections, and like that's legendary. So that's legendary, bro. Until the next one, y'all. I Sabrina Tang. You don't gotta call me no BMK21. You can call me Sabrina Tang, man. Follow me on Instagram. Brandon Hine, man. You can follow Brandon Hine on Instagram too, man. But follow the Wrestling Boys as a whole. Rest in peace, Alpha. Rest in peace, Sika. Rest in peace, Rosie. Rest in peace, Umaga. All the fallen wrestling heroes that went on before us, man. Heroes we looked up to. So rest in peace to Kevin Sullivan as well, too, man. Rest in peace to all them guys, man. God bless y'all, NYE family, Fatu family, and shout out to the Miami family too. God bless y'all, man. I hope y'all get some type of silence and let God be let God be that comfort that keeps y'all going during this time of trouble. God bless y'all. Wrestling Boys, we out.